Hi, I'm Dr. Sian Cole, Senior Health Psychologist, and today's video is on one of my favorite acceptance and commitment therapy metaphors, demons on the boat. And this metaphor is really great at showing the main aim of acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, and that is the aim of psychological flexibility. The aim of acceptance and commitment therapy is psychological flexibility. This is the ability to be able to go with the ups and downs with life, to be able to enjoy the good times, but also being present in the challenging times. A lot of the time we end up trying to avoid unpleasant, challenging experiences, but we can also get into a habit of ruining experiences that could be pleasant and fun to engage with. ACT helps people to be psychologically flexible by teaching a number of skills. You can see more in my Introduction to Acceptance and Commitment Therapy video for more information on ACT. So one thing is being present. This includes contact with the present moment, here and now, plus using the noticing self, otherwise known as pure awareness, being able to observe your experience in the here and now as it is. Being present not only helps you take control of your actions, but it helps you to notice your thoughts and feelings so you can choose your action rather than to react. It may sound simple, but notice how often your mind has already wandered while watching this video. Open up. Acceptance of our emotions and diffusion from our thoughts. We understand that our relationship to our thoughts and feelings impacts our experience. When we are fused with our thoughts, believing their stories, this can lead to more struggling and suffering. Plus, because we're trying to avoid challenging situations, moving us away from our values and needs. Not accepting our emotions can be the same. Emotional avoidance and control usually leads to feeling stuck, which is still an unpleasant emotion too. Do what matters. Values and committed action. This is our towards move in choice point. It is important to know what matters, your values, and to take the commitment to try to act consistently to those values, even in the face of unpleasant thoughts and feelings. Okay, let's hear the demons on the boat. Imagine you're steering a ship far out at sea. Below the deck, out of sight, lie a vast horde of demons, all with enormous claws and razor-sharp teeth. These demons may have different forms. Some of them are emotions, such as guilt, anger, fear, or hopelessness. Some are memories of times where you failed or been hurt. Others are thoughts like, it's too hard, or I'll make a fool of myself, or I'll fail. Some of them are mental images in which you see yourself performing badly or getting rejected. Others are strong urges to drink too much, smoke, harm yourself, or overeat. While still others are unpleasant sensations, such as a tightness in your chest or a knot in your stomach. Now, as long as you keep that ship drifting out at sea, the demons will stay below. But as soon as you start steering towards land, they clamber up from below deck, flapping their membranous wings, baring their fangs, and genuinely threatening to tear you into little pieces. Not surprisingly, you don't like that very much. So you cut a deal. Hey, demons, if you stay out of sight down below, I'll keep the ship drifting out at sea. The demons agree, and everything seems okay for a while. The problem is, eventually, you get fed up at being at sea. You get bored and lonely, miserable, resentful, and anxious. You see plenty of other ships heading into shore, but not yours. What sort of life is this, you think? That land over there, that's where I want to be heading. But the demons down below aren't particularly interested in what you want. They want to stay out at sea, and that's final. So the moment you start heading for land, they swarm up onto the deck and start threatening you again. The interesting thing is, although these demons threaten you, they never actually cause you any physical harm. Why not? Well, because they can't. All they can do is growl and wave their claws and look terrifying. Physically, they can't even touch you. And once you realize this, you're free. It means you can take your ship wherever you want, as long as you're willing to accept the demon's presence. All you have to do to reach land is accept that the demons are above deck, accept that they're doing their level best to scare you, and keep steering the ship towards shore. The demons may howl and protest, but they're powerless because their power relies totally on your belief in their threats. But if you're not willing to accept these demons, if you've got to keep them below deck at all costs, then your only option is to stay adrift at sea. Of course, you can try to throw the demons overboard, but while you're busy doing that, no one is piloting the ship. So you run the risk of crashing into rocks or capsizing. And besides that, it's a struggle you can never win because there's an infinite number of those demons in the hold. But that's horrible, you may well protest. I don't want to live surrounded by demons. I am sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you already are. And all those demons will keep showing up again and again as soon as you start to take your life in a valued direction. But here's the good news. If you keep steering your ship towards shore, no matter how much the demons threaten you, many of them will realize they're having a no effect and will give up and leave you alone. As for the ones that remain, after a while, you'll get used to them. And if you take a good long look at them, you'll realize they're nowhere near as scary as they first appeared. You'll realize that they were using special effects to make themselves look a lot bigger than they really are. Sure, they're not going to turn into cute fluffy bunny rabbits and they still look ugly, but you'll find them much less frightening. And you'll find that you can even let them hang around without being bothered by them. And furthermore, as you continue your voyage, it's not just demons that will show up, but you will also get to have encounters with mermaids and dolphins and angels too. And it doesn't matter how far away you are from shore. The instant you start heading towards it, you're living life, you're having an adventure, you're moving in a valued direction. And as Helen Keller said, life is a daring adventure or nothing at all. So let's review that process, that story, that metaphor, the demons on the boat, and how we teach people to be psychologically flexible, be present. So noticing the boat you are on, where you are, what you are doing, and where you want to go. Also noticing the demons that are with you, normalizing that it is a normal human experience to have those demons. Open up. Accept that the demons are trying to scare you, but they cannot actually do you any harm. Diffusing from your beliefs in them, changing the relationship you have with these thoughts, feelings, these demons. Yes, I have the thought that I'm a terrible therapist, but I don't have to believe that thought is true. It doesn't help me take action or keep me present while I am doing therapy. And do what matters. Steer the boat to shore because that is where you want to go. Follow your values and commit to the action. So when I'm working with people, one of the things that we work towards is an acceptance and action plan. So we start with this by setting a goal, and we always make sure that we set SMART goals. So please see my video on goal setting for more details on how to set goals. So now I'm going to work through an example of a real acceptance and action plan that I used with one of my clients I was seeing who was going through treatment for cancer. So their goal was to engage in exercise during treatment. This was because of their values of self-care, fitness, and persistence. We know that exercise is really good for not just your physical health, but also your mental health as well. However, my client knew that there were a number of demons that they were experiencing that were kind of keeping their boat drifting at sea. So we looked at those. So they had thoughts of, my pain is scary. That were thinking maybe the exercise might have been actually doing harm. They had thoughts of, I can't cope anymore. I'm too tired. And another big thought that was holding them back was, my family will tell me to rest more. Feelings of fear, anxiety, and scared. Sensations of tight chest, tingling in the arms, fatigue, and urges to stay in bed, not to go to the gym, the urge to rest. So we've acknowledged what the demons look like and what the shore is. And then we start to use those psychological flexibility skills and remind ourselves that we have been learning ACT skills to help cope. We can diffuse from the thoughts, accept the feelings, and act by the values. We also discussed pacing activities and communicating with the family. The family had good intentions, trying to tell a client to rest. We know that exercise helps chemotherapy work more effectively, and we know it's good for your physical and mental well-being, and you can do it safely as well. And if you're unsure, you can seek physios or exercise physiologists to help. So communicating with the family that you're doing it in a safe way can help. We then broke the goal down into smaller steps, and we came up with quite a specific plan so they knew when they were achieving it. And then with these acceptance and action plans, you just start one step at a time, start steering that ship towards shore. And that's what we did. And then we set a time and date. They still had to deal with their scary thoughts and their uncomfortable feelings and sensations and their urges not to. But they remembered that they had the psychological flexibility to be able to do what they need to do in the moment. And if they find themselves enjoying the exercise, then they can as well. So the acceptance and the action plan was able to help them use all of their ACT skills together to be able to be psychologically flexible, helping them to be present, be open, and do what matters. And they actually found that they got a sense of control and helped them get through their treatment for cancer. Anyway, have a go at doing your own acceptance and action plans. And thanks for watching another one of my videos.